What is up, everyone? So I picked my 10 positions for my $10,000 YouTube portfolio. We're going to go over those positions today and also look at the charts. We're also going to look at what VOO and QQQ is doing to get an overview of the market in general. But let's dive right into that. All right, so here are my positions that I've settled on for the 10 positions in my YouTube portfolio. We have AMD, Texas Roadhouse, Caterpillar, Shopify, Chipotle, Amazon, Nike, Duolingo, Hymns, and CRWV. I believe I did a video after I added CRWV, but I wanted to pick a company that is one of these smaller neo clouds. The CRWV, IREN, NBIS. I went with CRWV. It is still down a bit, and I think it's down a bit today as well. So is NBIS, so is IREN. So we are seeing some pullbacks on those. I do think CoreWeave is the best positioned of these neo clouds. Looking at its affiliation with NVIDIA, NVIDIA has invested in CoreWeave. They are being used by, I believe, Microsoft and NVIDIA already, so is Nebius. But I do feel like CoreWeave has a good basis to grow from. I still need to build out my position a little bit, buy a few more shares. Price is down, so I'm going to see where that settles. I don't think you guys saw Caterpillar. Caterpillar is an industrial company that produces like the big bulldozers used on construction sites. And why I picked Caterpillar is I feel like this is going to be actually a secret AI play. With all these data centers being built, construction equipment is needed. Also, there's going to be energy that's going to be needed to power these data centers, and a lot of them are using the Caterpillar generators. So I feel like Caterpillar is going to be a good non-AI play, a company that is a strong company by itself, but is also going to benefit with the construction needed for these AI data centers. It's also used for mining and all sorts of stuff. So I feel like Caterpillar is a good industrial play outside of the tech plays that are commonly talked about with AI. But these are my 10 holdings. We are going to look at the charts for those, but first we're going to look at VOO and QQQ. All right, so let's zoom in and see what we got going on. As we talked about previously, I think last time I did a video, VOO was finding support right on that 50-day moving average. We see it found support on both the 1.272 and 50-day moving average and is going up. This big red candle is that last Friday when Trump announced the potential tariffs on China. And we see that's kind of blown over at this point. And I think everyone realized it's probably not going to be as big of a deal as they thought. So we are seeing movement up. I'm guessing we'll get up to this 1.414 and then see if we get up to this 1.618. At some point, there will be a bigger retracement. I mean, this was a pretty big sell-off on that single day, but we will see a bigger correction at some point. But for now, the trend still looks bullish. All the moving averages are continuing to move up. VOO found support on the 50-day moving average, so it's looking good. Before I continue, none of this is financial advice. I'm not professional. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just making stuff up as I go. Anyways, let's look at QQQ. So real quick, we see QQQ is at that 1.414. We just talked about with VOO, it is not there yet and it's working its way up. It looks like QQQ has got there first, which makes sense because of all the tech AI companies are the ones moving the market right now, and those are moving up quickly. So VOO should get up here as well. We see QQQ is already up there, and it found resistance twice at that 1.414. So it's still looking bullish. We'll see what happens at this point. We'll see if there's some retracement. VOO hasn't touched the 50-day moving average in a little bit, so we'll see if it comes back and touches that at some point. But everything still looks strong. We are still in a bull market. I expect the 1.618 to be hit. So market is looking strong. Still, I'm doing my cautious buys, dollar cost averaging, not taking any huge positions at once. But let's get into the companies in my YouTube portfolio. All right. So AMD, after that big run up here, after our partnership with OpenAI was announced, it went up, retested all-time highs, and now we are past all-time highs. So it has found support. I think I bought a few after this point, but above all-time highs, back down, above, retested all-time highs, now it's going up. It has found a lot of resistance here. So we'll have to see what happens with AMD. Obviously, this chart is still very bullish. I'm guessing there's going to be more big news about AMD released in the near future. either partnering with Meta. I've been hearing a lot of talks about that. I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but I would expect some more positive news. And then these upper targets will be the next move. But AMD is still looking very strong. Amazon, as everyone knows, Amazon Web Services was down the other day, so a lot of your favorite sites and apps were not being able to be used. So we see that Amazon has found some support on the 200-day moving average. Now, the 200-day moving average is a great spot to buy, but it is currently finding resistance against the 100-day moving average. It jumped up a lot in the past 2 days. Funny, the day that Amazon Web Services was not working was its best stock day. Go figure. But I was still waiting. I have my full position in my YouTube portfolio. I do want to add to Amazon in my Roth IRA, but I was waiting to see if this 0.382 retracement gets hit. We will see if it does. If not, I will buy at some point. But Amazon's still on watch. It is not in the clear yet, but price is moving up off that 200-day moving average. So looking good from here. If I was to buy at this point, I would not be afraid to hold forever. So a great opportunity to buy. Chipotle. So as I talked about previously, what I am watching now is to see if Chipotle can stay above this 0.068. It is finding a lot of resistance on this 50-day moving average, and I would not be surprised if this is the bottom. I have loaded up a little bit here. I probably will add a little bit more. I'm just waiting for confirmation that Chipotle is going to stay above this 0.618. So from this point, Chipotle is making a good move, but we'll have to watch to see what happens. We see that it did find support from this previous high, so it could be the bottom. Just have to watch. CRWV is down 3.5% today. It found resistance on the 50-day moving average, so price dipped below the 50-day moving average. It went up and tested it. It found resistance, so it's going back down. I'll probably wait to see if this 382 of 114 is hit before adding any more to my position, which also aligns to the 100-day moving average. This is a newer public stock, so there is not even a 200-day moving average yet. It has only been on the market since March. So price action is looking a little bearish right now. So I do expect some downturn. We will add to the position. Let's go to Duolingo. Duolingo, it's moving up. It went past the 50-day moving average, and this is another bearish chart, as we can see by the moving averages. It found resistance on both the 100 and 200-day moving average, and it is back down, but it did find support on this retracement of the 0.236. So we did the retracement from the previous high to the swing low, and this is what we're looking at. We do notice that every low is higher, so that's good. That's good to see. Higher highs. So price action is moving up. We will continue to watch Duolingo. I think I have my full position built out. I was trying to do 10 positions of $1,000 each. So I already have over $1,000 in Duolingo. So I won't be adding to this position in this portfolio. But price action is looking promising, trending upward. We will see what happens. HIMS. No, so HIMS is very interesting. So if you can see on my current holding, it is down, was that 9%. After HIMS released the news of the women's menopause HRT treatment, it shot up to about $64. My position was up like 20%. And then all this funky stuff started happening on Twitter, where the CEO of HIMS had made some comment, and then there was an announcement that he had sold shares. Granted, those shares were already planned to be sold way ahead of time. I think a year ago is when they planned for them to be sold at this date or this price, whatever it may be. And the stock price went back down. So as of now, HIMS is below the 50 and 100-day moving averages, and it did find support at that 0.68 or 0.65 rather. So we will see if it can maintain that support there. But HIMS also just announced that it is acquiring an early cancer detection company. This company developed a blood test that can help develop or can help screen for early cancer signs, which I think is really cool. We know HIMSS is getting into the at-home blood testing for their HRT and TRT. So if they are also going to offer early cancer detection at some point, and I'm sure they're going to build out other products to go along with that, I think that's very promising long term for the company. I'm not too worried short term what HIMSS does. I do see they're making lots of advancements. They're expanding into both male and female HRT. They're doing at-home blood testing. They purchased this early detection cancer company. So they're making some very good moves. I think HIMSS will be fine. There's just going to be a lot of short-term volatility because it is based a lot on news and apparently tweets as well. Nike, I really haven't looked at in a while. Like I added a couple shares here. It filled this gap and it found support right at this gap. So Nike is being watched. Still bearish. Prices below all three of the moving averages. We have to see what happens. Nike is one of those companies, as I always talk about, a legacy sports athletic apparel company. Nike will be fine long term. I think this is a great buying opportunity, actually. Price was at 179, got all the way down to 52, currently at $67, $68. So I think it is worth the risk of a company that doesn't have a lot of good price action right now. There's so many companies flying up fast. It's hard to want to put money into Nike when it's going down, but I do think this is a good turnaround play. Shopify. Shopify is moving up. Shopify looks very bullish. Continuously finds support on the 50-day moving average and is going up. Nothing to worry about here. It is currently approaching that all-time high. And as we talk about, once it does break past that all-time high, assuming it does with strength, then these upper targets come into play. But for the time being, it has yet to test all-time highs, so we have to wait for that to happen. Texas Roadhouse. Texas Roadhouse actually had a huge day the other day. So here's a great example of what we're talking about. Price action was below the 50, 100, 200-day moving averages, and it is very bearish because the 50 is below the 100 and 200. But since then, Texas Roadhouse has found great support, is moving up, almost got to that 0.18. It found resistance on this previous top of this gap. So I put this previous resistance here based on these price points and the fact it was at a gap down. It looks like it has almost fully filled that gap. To fully fill that gap, it actually needs to get up to this 0.618. So price action is moving up. That doesn't mean it's going to go up forever. It could very easily get up here, find resistance, and go back down. But as of now, Texas Roadhouse is moving up. It looks like bullish price action. Price is now above all moving averages. So we have to watch this and see what happens. Caterpillar. Caterpillar has been a super strong stock. So this is where I am very sad about Caterpillar. I was watching this stock during the April-March tariffs. I had a note, potential buy at 1 or 290. All right, so when you take the retracement from this low to this high, 290 was the 0.5 retracement. And I was like, that is a great position to add to. When it got to that point, it went a little bit lower. And I was like, okay, I'm going to wait for the 0.618, 0.615 area to get touched since it passed that. Unfortunately, it never got quite that low and it went back up. I had bought other companies like Google, TSM, ASML. So I'd put money elsewhere and I kind of forgot about Caterpillar. Caterpillar went from about 260 all the way up to 520. So price doubled. So I did miss that great buying opportunity for a company I was looking in, but the company still looks pretty strong. It still looks like it has a good story behind it. Price is above the 50, 100, 200-day moving averages, and it keeps moving up. Let's do this real quick. If we take the retracement from this high to this low, we see it's very bullish. and it's already moved past that 1.414. It is moving up towards that 1.618. It has been going down a little bit. So we will see where price action lands. But I think long term, we're talking 5-10 years, Caterpillar will be fine. Caterpillar is a very strong company. I do think there are some tailwinds behind it with this AI build out and needing equipment for these data centers. So I think Caterpillar will be fine. But those are the 10 companies I'm currently holding and what the charts are looking like right now. The market overall is still looking very bullish. I will continue to dollar cost average when good opportunities arise. I think the main thing right now is to not chase price action. There's so many companies that are going up super fast, and those companies are actually starting to go down right now. Let's just pull up IREN real quick. IREN is down 5.5% today. You can see it was well above the moving averages. It went up to that 1.272 and is now going down. What's interesting about stocks like this is they basically ran up super fast based on the story, not the fundamentals of the company. Not saying these companies aren't doing well and won't do well in the future, but these companies were up like 1,000% in a very short time. Of course, they're going to retrace a little bit. That's to be expected. NBIS is down 3.72%. NBIS is actually almost down to the 50-day moving average. We see the 50-day moving average is starting to curl down a little bit. So I do expect a further price decrease. So a lot of these neoclouds, crypto mining turned neoclouds are going down this week. So we'll watch that. But overall, I still think the bull trend is intact. It's just a matter of now of making, you can't just buy something and think it's going to automatically go up right now. So make sure you're buying at good spots, look for these moving day averages, look for support and resistance, and make sure you're purchasing at good prices. But that is it. That is my portfolio. We will see how this portfolio grows over this next year. Thank you for watching. Drop in the comments what you're investing in and if you think there's companies that I should look at. Let's keep those portfolios growing.